It's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Good afternoon, March 1st. Just like that, we're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong interest on wholesaling real estate where your cash or credit does not matter. It's a low barrier to entry, low risk, high reward, and opportunities of opportunities. So we're here to answer your questions about that and more. We do offer individuals the opportunity to it's on the live stream. All you have to do is text the word Gator to this number. To do so, you can join us on the live stream. Also, what am I doing here? We've got a strong emphasis on partnering with you on several things. On land, just text the word raw for the instructions there. On houses, text 5050. And on apartments and self-storage, text the word units to this number to get more information. Boom, boom, boom. Most people fail in this business because they never understand what a great deal is. Text GD to the number. This video will explain a lot, the entire process of analyzing properties and deals. It'll go a long way at getting you going. So text the letters GD, and guess what it stands for? Great deals. If you're out driving for dollars and you need to know who owns that vacant house, text the letters D, letters and number D4D, driving for dollars, to the number also. Some of you all are doing some cold calling as they say, cold calling. Text the word dollar if you need a super duper dollar to get you going also, to speed up the process and to make it a more efficient for you. What else we got? The contract that I've been using since 2003 and been giving away since 2008 is free to you, also along with some instructions to explain how it works. So text the word contract to the number, and that video will explain that entire process to you. If you're wanting to know how to put apartment deals together or how to analyze them, I did a recent video. It's the most recent uploaded video outside of the shorts and the live streams. Text the word DOE. That's still the video that will, the link that'll give you that video on wholesaling apartments. So text the word DOE to the number. If you need to build lists, whether it's for cash buyers or for motivated sellers, text the word list to this number, 205-964-5243. We'll stop on that for right now and just wait for the softballs after that. But what's happening?
All right, the first question is on Instagram. How do you come up with the wholesale assignment fee? What's the math on?
A simple way to do it, I've gotten that question over the years and really haven't been able to answer it. I just know what the number should be based on just how many properties I've looked at and deals I've done, but that doesn't help anyone who's trying to do this. So I just woke up in the middle of my sleep, which I do a lot, and have a brilliant idea or whatever, or something that I make and explain or something, whatever, just all kind of stuff. A lot of sleepless nights, but this time I remembered what I woke up about. So you come up with your ARV, right? Your after repair value. You can generally say, hey, my number as far as what I want to make is anywhere from 7 to 10% of that number. So explain that, Tyrone. Okay, Tyrone will explain it. So assuming that you had an ARV on a property that was $200,000, what the ARV means is, what was the house appraised for in excellent condition after repair value? Why is that number important? You have to re-engineer a backdoor, um, go backwards on your deal to know know if it's an opportunity or not. So you have to know the end game for the money man, the cash buyer. So the ARV is the starting point at that. So if you do 7% or 10% of the 200,000, 7% would be 14,000, 8% would be 16,000, 9% would be 18,000, and 10% would be 20,000. So now it's all negotiable. You may say that and then only ended up making 2,500. That's, you know what I'm saying? But that's the number you're shooting for, maybe between that 7 and 10% of the ARV, generally speaking. So, but it's all negotiable. Just keep in mind. And sometimes you may even exceed that number, you know, of 10%. So, but just to give you an idea, so you can actually use my deal calculator. If you text the letters DC, D is in deal, C is in calculator, to the number, and that will help you, you know, form. You should never, especially starting out, put houses under contract without running those numbers through the calculator, assuming you have the correct ARV or close to it and a good estimate on repairs. You're in the game.
All right, everyone from YouTube is saying hello.
What's up, YouTube?
Hello from Indiana. Hello
YT.
from Georgia. This first one says, well, can you explain how people actually receive the contract? Because we have one. I responded to it, but I want everybody else to know.
Okay.
They said they texted the contract, but they didn't get it. How did they
Okay.
receive
All
it?
right. Okay. And there's really nothing I can do about the confusion out there because the word contract text, you follow the instructions in the video. But I've probably done more videos on contracts than I've done in anything. Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, it's up there. So a lot of times people will see some of my older videos and I gave different instructions on how to obtain the contract. I realize people don't I always look at the data videos. A lot of times I won't watch, it'd have to be really something I want to know if I look at a video that's probably older than 2 years old. So, but I realize a lot of people don't look at the dates of videos. Not saying it's not relevant by no means. I'm just saying that with the content that I produce, you should always, especially something like as basic as the contract, you should always be looking for the most recent video, because what I said back in 2013 is not going to probably be what I said today as far as how to access this contract. I can assure you of that, right? So they may see a number that I don't even use anymore, and that's part of, you know, the issue with not actually quote unquote owning it. Even with the 205-9645243, it's going to hurt me bad if I ever lose that number, right? Because of how much I promoted it. So I promoted a different number for the contract. It was an 833 number. I don't remember the number, but the company that I was using to do that with, they discontinued that service. And so it was like, wow, I got all these numbers or whatever, and, you know, boom. And so a lot of people are still using that and they're not getting what they're sending in. So that's where the part of that confusion at. Then, and I need to change it on flipman.net or whatever. I need to change it there because it gives you that also. But the real way to get it now, and the reason I changed it, I try to funnel most things through dealulator.com, right? Number one, to get you to the site, period. You know, I'm transparent about anything I do. So the contract is one of the ways, and I give it away, right? So, but what I tried to also do is present an opportunity for you to present a professional contract instead of something handwritten. Not saying handwritten won't work. I'm just trying to give you the best way to try to ease some of the pain of someone being uncomfortable with dealing with you. All right. So when you go to dealulator.com, you fill it out there. Okay. When you fill it out, you have an opportunity to download it if you just follow the instructions on the site. It's still free, but each time you want a contract, then you just fill it out. If that doesn't work for you, this is not the only game in town. Or you could just simply type up your own using the same verbiage. It doesn't matter or whatever. So if that's you feel like you just got to have a contract in your hand and you want to present it to someone, which I'm trying to save you some pain of putting a contract in someone's hand and they start to ask you questions about it right there in your face and you don't have the answer. I'm trying to let you benefit from a lot of my mistakes. right? But anyway, so if that's your goal, then you're just gonna have to have it typed up, or you do it yourself, and the world is yours. I don't care if you copied it, it's not mine. I copied it from somewhere else and just made a couple of edits over the years. So, but that's how you access it right now. You text the word contract, follow the instructions in the video, and you can access it as much as you want for free. Boom.
Okay. This one says it's the best way, I guess, to find homes to flip, to drive for dollars.
I wouldn't say it's the best way, but speaking of driving for dollars, if y'all driving for dollars trying to determine who owns that vacant house, text the letters D4D, and this particular tool/app would help you in a long way, and that video explains. But it's not the best way, but it's one of probably the better ways for individuals that are starting out to drive for dollars, whether you have money or not, to invest into it, because especially if you're going to start out in your own market, then it gives you an opportunity to get really comfortable with your market. A lot of people won't really drive outside of their general area, but I encourage you to probably drive in any direction 30 minutes from where you live, so you can somewhat get comfortable with your market. Now, if you have a job that you already do that, you may be, I don't know, a bus driver or a police officer or someone like that, where you're just all over a particular market or whatever, then, so be it. But if you're just a normal person, you just have your travels from work and back and really don't deviate off of what's in between those two for the most part, then yeah, you definitely need to get out there. But what it will accomplish is now you have an opportunity to, number one, potentially find a deal, but also be able to network with some potential cash buyers if you see any renovations going on in a particular city, on a particular street or whatever. Get out there and introduce yourself and let them know you're going to have properties just like this one. You would love to work with them, or be able to be a source for them to make more money, by buying discounted houses. Also, while you're out, not only will you try to identify vacant houses for sale by owner, also properties that are for rent. As I said 1,000 times, target the signs for rent signs that are generic. And when I say generic, black and white, red and white, orange, black and white signs, normally that's the landlord themselves, the owner. The owner is the landlord, and you're probably speaking directly with them. So it's an opportunity for you to potentially reach out to them and see if they'll sell that property. And hopefully they are a tired landlord, at least on that property, or if not, maybe another property that they own. So to answer the question, driving for dollar, I don't know if it's the best way, but it's one of the more effective ways, especially when you're dealing with zero to no budget in this game, starting out.
All right, we got a couple questions on Instagram. Do you have a video on how we should walk a property?
How you should walk a property? Yeah. I have some older videos whenever, I have some older videos that I've done that with. I hadn't done one recently, but I have some older ones. Yeah.
All right.
But to answer the question, ideally when you're going out, for the most part, you're basically on a confirmation mission as far as the condition of the property. And also you're on a marketing mission. And what I mean by that, that's an opportunity in most cases to take photos and video to be able to market your property and for your own personal reference in the future. And when you're going out to photo a property, now I don't know what type of phone or device you have, but most people, when they video things, they'll video it like this. Not if you're going to use it to upload to YouTube, it needs to be held like this. Now, if you've never done that with your device before, don't wait till you get out there to figure it out, right? Figure it out before you get out there on how to upload it, how to record it properly, because all phones are not built equally. Like if I'm holding this iPhone like this, it's going to record and it'll show on YouTube, it'll fill the entire screen. Now, I think even if I held it this way, I think it'll still do the same thing, but some phones are not like that. It'll be upside down, which is just basically you'll be able to just flip it through some editing app or whatever. But again, you want to figure all that out before you go out there. And when you take your photos, you really want to do the same thing, right? It's okay to take them like this or whatever, especially if you're going to use them from Instagram or TikTok or something like that. But if you're going, your intent to post them on Facebook Marketplace or with a Craigslist or a Facebook group, ideally it's probably best to hold it horizontal. Again, all phones are not built different. Some of them may, so, but you want to test that stuff.
All right. This is also on Instagram. When I see a home to buy, where do I get the actual money?
When you see a home to buy, where do you get the money? Well, welcome to the world of wholesaling, because obviously this is your first time here, right? We're in the business of not, it doesn't matter you don't have the money. Well, let me just say this. If you're looking to buy a house to live in, this really not for you, but I can still probably explain it to you right now. But we're here to talk about making money off real estate with no money, right? That's the purpose of this. And basically everything that I put out is targeting people, whether you have the money or not, or whether you have credit or not, is irrelevant. You can still do deals and make money real estate investing. Now, if you're looking to buy a house and you don't have the money, this is also an opportunity where you still can do that, in the sense that if you're still trying to wholesale to make money, you can accomplish a couple of different things there. Obviously, hopefully, if you're having any degree of success in closing deals, picking up checks, then you're making money. So whatever lack of capital or maybe in a credit situation can be fixed. Money will fix both of those if they won't do anything else. But in that same light, if you're generating enough leads, you will be presented with opportunities sometimes on properties that you would actually want to live in, and in the situation will permit where you can get into that property, get some form of ownership of the property or possession with little or no money. So it still can accomplish what you want to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of patience and work. But if you're just looking here and say, how can I, because you may have seen a title or something to say buy a house with no money, not exactly what we're talking about here. So it's a house to live in.
All right. You kind of answered this already earlier. How to begin with less than $100. You kind of said about driving.
Driving for dollars would be key. Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. This is kind of a broad question on TikTok. They said how to get into real estate.
How to get into real estate? Okay, so well, you've already started. You're here. I personally think wholesaling real estate is a great entry point. Again, whether you have money or you don't, whether you have great credit or you don't, because if nothing else, it's going to teach you how to identify great real estate deals. Mainly houses is what we're talking about. So whether you want to do fix and flips or whether you want to do rentals, you won't ever lose that mindset of it has to be discounted at a significant amount in order for me to purchase that property or to pursue it. Because if nothing else, whenever you get a deeply discounted piece of real estate, even if you make mistakes, it doesn't mean that you lose money. It just means simply you may not have made as much money as you thought you were going to make. I would rather be in option B than to actually lose money. So, so they're asking how you start. You've already started. Again, my personal opinion, this is a great way to start investing in real estate. Is low risk, high reward. That's what we always should be pursuing. It ain't always an option when dealing with trying to start a business, because that's what we're basically doing, starting businesses here. You want low risk, high reward. Most businesses are high risk, high reward in a sense. Some of them are higher risk than whatever, but and a little lower risk. Reward. But this is low risk, high reward. So, welcome.
All right. They put this in the private chat, but I'm about to read it. They said, what if a seller agrees to sell, but you don't have access to view the inside of the property because it's boarded up and the owner lives out of state? Should I still try to wholesale it? The ARV is $80K. They're only asking for 10 to 8K. Wait, they're only asking for 10, and then they have 8K in back taxes / repairs.
So they're really asking 18, unless the 8 is coming out of the 10. So right. You need to be clear on that. But if it's boarded up and they live out of town, the boards need to come off. Now you want to ask them, and that could be a deal breaker. People need to view the property, and unless they're going to give you a sight unseen price on an $80,000 ARV with the $10,000 price. really, she can't, well, I guess they could, but they're not probably going to bring any money to the closing table. Really, you can't go below that $8,000 that they owe. So I don't think that's cheap enough for sight unseen unless you already have an idea about the property. It was recently boarded up, and you know that it's not that bad on the inside, and that may be justified as far as the amount of repairs, And then with a house that's $80,000, square footage would matter tremendously, because once you start to get over the size of 17, 1,800, 2,000 square feet, you could either be back at what it's worth in reality as far as repairs, depending on the condition or whatever. So,
all right, this one came from.
mm-hmm.
This one came from Petra David. She said, I have 5 properties on the same road from the same owner. What are some good points to negotiate the price down?
Okay, so I have 5. Well, what are these properties rented already currently? Or are they vacant? Or are they some or all in need of repair? There are 5 properties on the same street. We need a little bit more background before I could try to give you an idea of what to potentially offer. And I'm assuming he hasn't given you a price. I didn't even say what the topic was, did I? In the beginning?
Yes, it did.
Did I?
I think so. When you introduced it, say it again.
Okay, yeah, the topic today is why isn't wholesaling real estate or houses, whatever I said, taught in school?
All right.
I think I got an answer.
Denise Lee, she said, what is the best way to find cash buyers when you're getting started?
The best way to find cash buyers when getting started, okay? Well, I guess we're talking in terms of being free. A simple thing you can do is go straight over to old Google. First thing you can do, and some of those are going to be wholesalers, probably all of them, but anyway, they have access to cash buyers. Go to Google and type in, sell my house fast in the name of the city. You want to definitely join as many real estate investment groups in that local market. You want to attend any RIA groups, real estate investment associations in that market. There's going to be investors there that are real players. If they have public auctions for foreclosures or even tax sales, and they're actually like here, they're on the courthouse steps, from my understanding, never attended, but you want to attend those and network in that setting. You can text the word buyers to this number, 205-964-5243. And I have a little trick for you there to also find buyers there. Other wholesalers, even though they're not actual buyers themselves, they may be very resourceful. And that sort of goes back to the Google search. Now you can, well, it's assuming, I guess you don't have a property under contract, but I was going to say you can use handwritten bandit signs to promote a property that will generate potential, will assist in building a buyer's list also.
All right, we got a couple good questions on TikTok. How do I convince an owner to do owner finance?
Wow, how do you convince an owner to do some owner financing? That's a very good question. Convincing them is just going to boil down like with anything else. If the price doesn't work, it could be a deal breaker. So let's go back. So assuming that the price that you need the property to be at is too much, but it may be ideal based on a couple other factors for an owner financing situation. So you just pose it to them, say, hey, we would love to buy your property as is at this price, but since you're asking, I'm just going to use a number. Since you're asking $100,000 for it, would you consider taking those, selling it on terms? They say, well, what do you mean? We will make 100 payments at $1,000 a month. So that should equal 100,000 if my math is correct. Now, assuming that this is a $1,600 or so rental area, because you want to have an opportunity to cash flow if it's treated as a rental. Now, it may just be as simple as setting that up and passing it on to a family that may actually want to live in it, or an investor that wants to turn it into some type of income producing property. For an investor, that you're going to want the cash flow, as I mentioned earlier. But if it's a family that wants to live in, that may be an excellent opportunity for them. You could continue to stay in the deal and do what they call a wraparound mortgage. I guess that's the way it's phrased. And you collect, cash flow on top of that. But what's beneficial to you is that you've taken the landlord out of it because you're offered owner financing. The same thing with the owner, is that you want to let them know, hey, you can receive cash flow on this property, but we're going to reduce the the landlord responsibilities, because the only thing, anything that needs to be taken care of in the house as far as maintenance, now we take care of, because the property has been deeded over to you, assuming that was the path that was taken.
All right, where can I find cash buyers?
We just went through that one. We just went through that.
Okay, this person, I'm guessing he's here or she's here. They want to buy in Center Point. Would you recommend these? They want to buy for rentals. I'm guessing they want to be a cash buyer.
Oh yeah, Center Point is a good area, definitely for rentals and retail too, but definitely for rentals.
All right, really quick, how much do your book cost for me to get started?
The book?
E-book maybe.
Oh, just text. You can just text me, and I'll glad to send you the link.
All right. We got Omar in the game room. About to add him to the stream.
Ooh, let me go. There he is.
Hey, hello.
What's happening, my man?
What's going on?
Yes,
Just
sir.
making it work.
Hey, what you got today, Omar?
All right, I got two for you, Professor.
Yes, sir.
How far apart should you schedule closings if you may have like 3 to 4 or maybe 5 contracts, in the funnel in 1 month?
Oh,
Don't
it doesn't
matter.
matter. They can all be on the same day. It doesn't matter, as long as
Oh,
the times don't conflict, or whatever. So, in reality, they could conflict. You don't technically have to be at them, depending on how they're set up. But you could do them all on the same day. So, how far they should be apart really doesn't matter. Again, as long as they don't conflict with each other.
okay. And I guess even virtually, if you're doing it online, I mean that's even better as well. You can conduct with a better flow that way too. Now that we got these tools to do it, I guess.
Yeah, that still works also for sure.
Yeah. All right. Another thing is, how would you recommend posting or loading the seller's property on YouTube? Like, what would be like the most, I guess, what would be like the beginner's way of
Well,
of uh,
Well, the
you
thing
know?
about it, and I guess that's a good question, because I've never probably went into it. So whenever you upload a video of a property to YouTube for your marketing purposes or whatever, you don't want to include the address, right?
Mm,
Because now if someone Googles that address at some point, it's going to pick up in Google. And, so I have a video of the property, blah, 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 whatever. So normally what I'll do is I'll just do whatever the house number is and then house. If the house number is 1218, I would do 1218 house or whatever. So it's more like a invoice or inventory number, the way I titled it. So
okay. So
it
just
doesn't have to be done that way. I'm just telling you that's my little process.
okay. So like offset the address. They could see the house, but they gotta contact you to get the actual address if they're interested.
Correct. And that's where you want to advertise all your properties. You don't want to include an address. You just include the area where it's located or whatever. So
Okay.
that technically keeps it off market in my definition.
Okay. And still photos versus the videos. Be best to put the still photos first and then the videos, or I mean, so it's like pretty much organized or somewhat order,
All
or
right. So I'm not understanding the question. Say it again.
when formatting the photos and videos or the layout, there's no special way. Just you just line them all up there and upload them with
Yeah,
your
it doesn't matter. Yeah, I
yeah.
deal out want the front of the house first. Doesn't have to be, but normally that's where I like to roll.
Okay, and go from there. Just do all outside shots and then take it to the inside.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Well put for me. Simple
All
as
right,
day.
no problem, man.
All
Be
right.
safe out there.
Thank you, sir. All right, y'all be
Yes,
well.
sir.
Well, all right.
All right.
Good questions. Good questions. Hold on. Put up. Are you tired today?
I don't know why. I need a Sprite or something.
A little nap.
Ain't one still left back there. Hey, we had a teacher, Miss Poole. She dead now, but that's the way she used to. That's the way she.
She dead now.
She
She
had
say
been
like
in this
God rest her soul or something. Jesus.
Put your hand out, Taylor. Pow, pow. Yes, how she used to discipline us in school. Put your hand out, Taylor.
I know you got hit a lot.
I did. Yeah, I need it. I ain't gonna make it if I did. We don't.
You need a little red.
No, this is Sprite. Yeah. Or root beer. One of either one of them. Probably preference for root beer.
Get this Sprite. It's clear.
Yeah, they don't. They both trash. But go.
That's beer.
Okay. This one, she said that she watched the video, but she needs the contact.
You mean the contract?
I don't see. She's the person who she posted the thing about the contract, and I thought she meant contract. Just forgot the R's. I don't know what the contact is.
She probably mean contract. Are you trying to say contract, or you mean contact?
Yeah.
Like someone's contact information?
Yeah.
Let's be clear on that, Muna, if I'm saying that correct.
Yeah, but why would she get it from us? So this one says, so your most update videos are the best way to follow.
No. I'm not saying that. Depends on what you're looking for. Right? I rarely watch my videos, but sometimes people ask a question and I don't remember, and I'm not normally going to go back. Sometimes I'll just go back out of my own curiosity. And I said that, but it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, it is.
Basically, the answer is watch all of them.
Well, yeah, because see, and the reason, okay, I know I push free, but I can see I can be confusing. But, right, I say that, but at the same time, and I know everybody don't learn the same, so you have to go by how you learn. So a lot of people are better at reading something and retaining information than listening. I'm gonna listen visual. I can just listen. I ain't even got to have the visual. Visual just extra or whatever. You just can tell me how to do it, and I'm gonna get it for the most part, right? And if I don't know something, guess what you do? You Google it. If I hear a phrase that I don't know, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'll probably pause what I'm listening for. I say, what do they mean by that? And I'll go Google it. Right? I consume a lot of YouTube trying to learn stuff. Right? So I consume a lot of foolishness too. You got to have some balance here. But when I'm trying to learn something new, a lot of times it's outside of real estate or whatever. And I'm gonna hear a term that I don't know. I'm gonna Google it. But that ain't answering our question. It's hard for me to say just watch the update because all of them gonna get old at some point, right? So I don't even know how far to tell you to go back. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, "Oh, I went back to the first one you posted." When you sit in your living room and all that. No, I don't think you got to go back that far. I don't think you have to go back to 08.
Search for it and then put and they can
Yeah. See, a lot of times you're gonna title search, and I get it or what. So that's sort of why I started being a little funky with these titles, because we're doing it every day. You know, at some point, what is tripping? Two plus two is still 5, but it's only so much I can say now. New stuff happens, just like I'm trying to introduce you all to the land thing. I hadn't really did any strong just informational content on it. I am or whatever. But so I just can't tell you just to watch the new videos, because some of that old stuff is some good content. You know, the video and audio is not as good now, and that's hit or miss even now or whatever. But I think it can be very valuable. It's over 800. You definitely don't have to watch it. Some people get this. I'm like literally get it watching 8 videos. Like get it or whatever. That everybody's different. Sometimes this is your first introduction to trying to do something on your own as far as a business, because this is what it is. It's basically it's running a business or whatever. So I can't say that, Denise Lee, just to go watch my new videos. I wouldn't even know what point to tell you to start at. You see what I'm saying? We have over 200 and we have over 200. It's off. It's on off.
Yeah, it keeps saying like Instagram limits how many times you can do things, and then it'll say tell us if we made a mistake or okay.
Oh, they tripping.
I think it won't let you go live anymore.
Yeah, we have over 200 just flippinars before we even start. Well, when we got the daily live, we don't count those, but we probably got at least 100 of them, right? That's just the Q&A. So, and that don't even include the videos where I'm uploading, just actual topic on something and trying to explain it. Just because the title says one thing, it's always going to be something in there that's going to answer a question that you have, and it may not even be on the top. Y'all know how I do. So it's always going to be that in there, because I got to, and I feel a lot of times when I'm explaining something, I'm probably going to have to explain something else that you need that you didn't even. It wouldn't. The topic wouldn't have told you I was going to talk about that. So, and it's just hard for me to just have any real sympathy when the information is free. Yeah, I sell stuff, but you ain't never got to spend a dime with me and get it all. That's just out of the byproduct of people that want to speed up the process. Yeah, the courses and stuff will speed up the process, but you ain't never got to spend a dime because I giving all that. I know she be tripping. Yeah.
Okay. This one says, great job, Footman. I started my calls today. I got one yes and a maybe soon. All right.
They got who?
One yes and a maybe soon.
Oh, that's what's happening. That's what's up.
They said, I also want to link up with you. I think we can help each other.
Okay, Miss Y Mac.
Where you at?
Where you at, Y Mac? What you got offering? What are you offering?
All right, this one's from Dwayne. He said, how do you handle deals in a different state? For example, inspections, lockbox, etc. Is that just a responsibility that you pass along to the buyer? What is our responsibility? And get you a partner.
You can't pass that on to the buyer. You'll get passed right out of some deal, a lot of deals. Right. Now you're just gonna have to have boots on the ground to do those small things for you, whether it's another wholesaler, friend or family member, real estate agent possibly. So you're gonna have to take that in consideration when you target a different market, where you have boots on the ground that will occasionally be there to represent you and your interest.
All right, let's see. This one says, hey, Footman, is it okay if I send you a commercial deal to JV if they make sense?
Yeah, man, I won't turn down nothing but our callers around here, man. Yeah, send it over if it makes sense. If you know what you're doing, most definitely.
Okay.
Yo.
Oh, this one says, what's the best way to find a title company? Which video shows what to say to them to qualify them?
Well, technically, if you watch my videos, I'm going to frown on that. actually trying to look for a title company unless you have a buyer, a seller under contract and a buyer under contract, and you may be dealing with a buyer that has never done a deal before. It may be they got some money, but this is their first deal, so they don't know. They've never closed a deal before. Okay, so now it's time to look for a title company. Guess what? I got a solution for you. It's called social media. Use the power of networking. You could join my Facebook group. We don't talk about it enough. Text the word group to the 205-964-5243, and you could join my Facebook group. Or you could join a local Facebook group that involves wholesaling in that particular city where you're trying to do a deal or that market. And I just actually posed the question: what title companies or attorneys are wholesaler friendly for XYZ city?
All right. This one came from Joshua C. Music. He said, "What's up, Flip Man? I have a couple of nice deals, but the owners are hard to get in touch with because I'm having a hard time finding updated phone numbers. Does mailing still work?"
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it works.
So when you mail them, are you mailing to the address of the home you found?
Well, you hope, and you probably need to start doing some of that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Whenever you find a vacant house, the first thing you want to, I think we're good though. Candy. I hope you ain't finna do something with me up there.
Woohoo!
I mean, like, you know how to shake it.
Oh, that'll be so bad. Why would we sabotage you like that?
Oh, ooh, that's good to my throat. Oh.
You need to take the label off. They ain't paying us.
Oh, it's back. I got them backwards.
When you drunk, you look like you was in a commercial.
Really? They know what this is? No, they don't. No,
They
they don't.
probably know what that is. It ain't like it's Buffalo Rock.
It's Buffalo Rock, ain't it?
No, that's A&W.
Oh, it's on own brand. Okay, they ain't up under nobody. Ooh. Ooh. I'm trying to wake up. All right, so
you had a cold, it's over with.
Huh?
If you had a cold, it'd be over with.
What do you mean?
Get up all that cold up out of you.
Oh, that what it do?
It's supposed to.
That don't work for me.
Really?
Not that. No, that don't work for me. What I was talking about?
When you need to send out.
Oh, my mail. Yeah. So hopefully, the address of the property that's vacant and the mailing address are different. Sometimes they're not. All right, but assuming that they are, to answer Joshua's question, then yeah, that's what you want to do is mail. Now, if you're real gator, well, I keep this up here, Kaden to raise his head up or whatever it is. What is that? A female or male? What is it? You may go door knock. Say, hey, I noticed your property at 123 Main Street is vacant. We would love to buy it. My name is Joshua.
All right. Let's see. This one says, are there any responsibilities that cash buyers expect from us?
That's a good question. I guess it depends. I don't guess, but it depends on the deal, what you got going on. If it's a vacant property, you got a lockbox on it, boom, those are simple. That's easy. It's a vacant property, the seller won't give you access unless they're there, then your responsibility is to set up appointments so they can access. Ideally, you want to try to provide as much information and visuals on the property. When I say visuals, that's what we were talking about earlier, is photos and videos to make it as easy as possible for them to say yay or nay on the property. And of course, information about the property, the address, beds and bath, price, obviously. That's really all they need to start to do their own due diligence outside of the photos and video, and that like reduces some of the foot traffic, or it should.
All right, we have a great question on TikTok. Can you virtually drive for dollars on Google Maps? We haven't got that question before.
Well, yeah. Well, Google Earth might be better for that. But Google Maps will work too. Yeah, you could. You could use that. You're still going to need something to determine who owns the property. Bow. Right? This will help. Now, you can go use the county website too. It's free. But a lot of times, all county websites are not built equally in the sense they're not a lot of times user friendly. I don't know if they do that on purposes or money being stole, which is probably the reason. I can imagine that happens a lot. They pay a web guy to do this and that, and they just do a little tinkering. The rest in the pocket. That's why you get into politics. But anyway, so so that you could do that. I use Google Maps all the time. I just go back between systems, free stuff, paid stuff, free stuff, paid stuff. Just depends on what I'm trying to do.
I like whenever it has a picture of the house. But sometimes when it be like a picture from the hood,
Yeah.
you can't tell like which one is they.
Yeah. Well, now on PropStream, aka Digulator, you can you can always drop down and look right in front of the house and actually identify that house by the drop pins or whatever. So, but yeah. I was thinking that we could, and see, I could do a lot more coaching if I could show my screen. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch people. I'm sorry, could probably watch it, or what is just the Instagram and TikTok people. So if I had a screen, then they could see it too, or whatever. But I guess.
Maybe it can be something you like do a video. Yeah.
What?
Like share your screen.
I guess we could tell them what point in this video they can go back and watch it. We hate to lose that audience, but they get it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe every time
I was about to say, yeah, they gonna leave.
come to YouTube.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Because they can see it. You're going to send the link out to the now they can really see what it is.
All right, you kind of just mentioned one with PropStream, but this person on TikTok asked, do you have any recommendations, I guess, for skip tracing websites? I keep getting the wrong numbers, unfortunately.
Well, I'm affiliated with Skip Vault and Batch Leads. If you go to Skip to Flip, you'll be able to access my affiliation. Go to Skip to Flip, SKIP, the number 2, and Flip. Skip to Flip.
All right, this person on TikTok said they just got fired, no money, I need help.
Oh wow. Okay, so let's flip that. Let's re-engineer that. They just got released. They just got freed to do what they want to do and make all this money. That's what just happened. They got freed to make all this money out here. That's the way you look at it. All right. So now you guess what? You have an immense amount of time that they've given you. They've given you an immense amount of time, which can be very valuable to you. So you're here, and it's just like I was when I went to a little, how long that is? Less than 4 hours, more than 3 hours, so whatever it is. And so I used that entire time driving, basically about 8 hours, educating myself, right? I was looking forward to it, so I was there educating myself. So now you're without employment. Now, bills still got to be paid now, so I don't know how you're going to handle that. So hopefully you got some bread. Oh, they said they had no money too? Yeah. Oh, wow, damn. Well, regardless, you got time to start consuming this content to try to make something. But you got to get some income coming in. Now, I don't know if you have transportation, what city you're in. So the first thing I'm going to always think about is food delivery or people delivery, ride sharing, Uber, Lyft, or food delivery. That's immediate money, like daily money, right? From my understanding, right? Ain't that how it works? You can literally get your money. Yeah. Okay. So you gotta produce some income. But if nothing else, because they fired you today, that should give you more inspiration. Hey, I may need to control my situation a little bit. Not saying I can't never work on a job again, but maybe I need to have a plan B as far as income. Hopefully a plan B turns into plan A. But ideally, you may want to say, maybe I need to have, a backup plan here or whatever. So you're fine. If you got your health, everything else is a bonus. If you got your health and people you care about the most got their health, it's definitely everything else is a bonus. It can be worked out is what I'm trying to say.
All right. So when sending out direct mail, should I include my home address, my business name, or just my name and phone number, city, state, and zip code?
Well, you're going to have a return address whenever you send it out. So you can do a P.O. box with the Postal Service, but I would recommend doing like a mailbox option like UPS store, because they're going to give you an actual physical address instead of a P.O. box. So you definitely want to use an address as return. You want to try to, you don't want to seem like a huge corporation, I guess, but you definitely want to seem like you're serious about what you're doing by simply having an address where they can return mail, if nothing else, or to be able to look you up.
All right. Is it a good idea to market a property on Zillow?
That's a great question, Kendricks. Am I saying that correctly? Mm-hmm. Mr. Salter. That's going to be not an option sometimes, right? Because you don't own it, and you don't ever want to be a situation where somehow the seller, it gets back to them that their property is for sale. They're on Zillow. I don't recommend it. Some will do it. Now, some sellers will give you permission. So just have to know who you're dealing with. Some people you may oppose that option to them, but again, I don't recommend it.
Okay, let's see. Is Landglide the best app to find to use location on properties or areas?
You said is what?
Have you used Landglide before?
Oh yeah, I used to use it all the time. Yeah, I used to use it all the time before PropStream came out with their app. Once PropStream came out with their app, that Landglide was null and void, because it really only did one thing. It just really only pulled up the property and the address. It couldn't do any more than that. And so, but it was good when it didn't have an alternative, which had always been an alternative. You had, other services out there. I'm just talking about what I'm affiliated with.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
This one says they need a good title company for Alabama, West Alabama, and Utah, Alabama. Do you know one?
Oh, Utah. I don't, but you should be able to use someone probably out of Tuscaloosa. That's close enough down there. But again, just go to my Facebook group and ask the question. But use Tuscaloosa as a reference. I don't know if you'll be able to find someone down there. I think Utah's in Greene County. But just ask the question, what title companies are you wholesaler friendly in the Tuscaloosa area? You may be able to use someone out of Birmingham. If that's the case, then I can recommend someone, but probably Tuscaloosa will be better.
All right.
T-Town.
This one says, I've been getting a lot of calls from people who want to rent from my bandit sign. Is there anything we can do about those?
No, that's going to happen.
Which is good.
That's going to happen. That you're going to get calls from people wanting to rent. Some people want to need a contractor, blah, blah, blah. wholesaling taught in school. Why don't they teach those things like that? Why don't they just don't even use wholesale? Let's just say real estate investing. Why is that not taught in school? Right? Why don't they teach how to simply build credit and to maintain it?
Check the audio.
Which one?
They said something is wrong with the audio.
Which one? On who?
I guess on YouTube.
On YouTube?
That's the
What color that is?
orange.
Orange. It's good. Man. Oh, it's probably too loud. What you got on?
13.
Okay, do it 12.
They said it's good now.
Yeah.
It might be all this racket from the doggone gym.
Oh yeah. So anyway, what I was about to say? So why? Well, okay, well, I was on credit. Why don't they teach that? Why don't they teach just basic financial literacy? And some people say, well, they taught that at my school. Well, good for you. I don't know if they do that or not, but good for you if they did. But most of them they don't, right? And some people, well, they should teach that at home. Well, we should, but they don't. A lot of people don't, right? So the Scarlet Letter, ain't that a book?
Mm-hmm.
How is that going to help me pay a bill? Give me another one.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
The Count of Monte Cristo. How is that going to help me pay a bill, feed my family? Give me something else.
Shakespeare,
Othello. Oh, really that?
Othello was good though.
That was about life right there.
How is that going to help me pay a bill? Huh? That's the stuff they all let you teach at home if you want to. We need, but the objective is, and I didn't come up with this. I had to give credit to DeJuan Brown of Craig Fact Show. Now he was more talking about college, but you have to have that foundation in high school, elementary, high school, whatever, middle school, high school, to even get to that point if you go that far. So really, it's really not even college. It's really those levels. So what school really teaches us to do is, right, is it teaches us how to do mindless tasks and don't question it. That's what I just told you. DeJuan Brown, now he probably got it from somebody else, but DeJuan Brown, he's quote unquote a comedian of Craig Fact Show podcast. And it teaches us to do mindless tasks and don't question it. Guess what that is? Also known as employees. Because like I said, give me another book.
Someone said Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Now they done heard you.
No, I'm sorry.
We sorry, Flip Mama.
We ain't had to read that. You going off the deep end now, Jess. Give me something else.
Somebody said that on the comment.
Oh, somebody said that. Oh,
Yeah.
They teach what school they teach? Y'all had to do that, Ramsey?
I had to read Lord of the Flies.
What that's about?
Child, a whole bunch of this. Oh, Wuthering Heights.
What's that about?
It's a love story.
How's that gonna help me pay a bill or feed my family? Who?
Their eyes are watching God.
Who?
Their eyes were watching God.
Who? Say it again.
Their
You talking to Mike?
Their eyes.
Okay, what's that about?
It's a love story. Zora Neale Hurston.
Why would that be in any school? Please, I'm serious.
What's that lady name? She passed away now.
Help me understand, Justin. You from an educating family. Why? Well, I'm sure she is.
Yeah, it is Zora Neale Hurston. She got really good books and they're hard to read too. You should read. She wrote Beloved and like.
Why does the cage
That's
bird
on your
sing?
own personal time.
Why does the cage bird sing?
Well, hell, the children need to read nowadays.
Well, I ain't say that. I didn't say that.
See how all these.
It needs to be reading with a purpose, though.
True.
It needs to be reading with a purpose.
They do. They do.
Now we may have some. You got to have some variety. I get that, but it can't be too much of that. That has to be like maybe if you got how many months you're in school? 9 months and what they do? How they do it? 2 semesters? How they do it? So I just put it like this: if we're going to school, 40 weeks, maybe 1 or 2 of those on some fiction.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? I'm just using literature as an example. Maybe 1 or 2 of those is fiction, right? Okay, so why would you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get to math. Let's get some other stuff. Okay, now unless I am going to be an engineer, or what else? What else I need? A chemist, right?
Architect.
I get that. I said unless I'm going to do that, there's no reason for me to take that.
But how would you know though?
Why do I need to understand that?
But how would you know?
I'm saying you're going to get exposed to it, and then the ones that like it, let them go down that path. But as others, we need to be doing financial math. How to balance a checkbook. Just simple stuff. Just simple stuff.
I think they should teach you both.
It should be balanced.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it should be more
There's
balanced.
too many people are not going to pursue that. That
That's
is
true,
a
yeah.
waste of resources.
Yeah, that's true.
The ones that like, they're going to automatically be attracted to it.
Mhm.
So let them go down that path. We're going to separate them.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, we can't worry about the other country. Well, now they trying to get over here. So
It's a word.
But Peter,
Yeah.
maybe I'm missing something. That's what I'm asking. I ain't got the answers here.
Now, to a certain extent, I do think that like kids need to be challenged. Hell, you see all the typos up and through here.
Challenged.
But I'm saying, what? That was a read. We all make typos.
You can be challenged with trying to determine what's the difference between an option, right, and just trading regular stock.
Yeah, I think
You know, you can be challenged with that instead of challenged with chemistry.
Even with home
Most
ec,
people are not going to use that.
even like home ec, they don't even do home ec anymore in school. Like home ec.
You can be exposed to it.
Yeah.
Those that want to pursue it, they pursue it. But I don't need year after year of biology, and I'm never going to use it. That is a waste of time and resources.
That's why people don't know what a carb is, because they don't study biology.
But you ain't got to study it to know it.
Well, they ought to be taught what they should be eating.
Yeah, okay, so now we get into nutrition.
Yeah.
That should be taught. Now, whether I'm going to do it, but it should be more focused on that than just biology and trying to learn out. That is crazy.
I ain't never been out, and I'm
That's the
like,
thing,
ooh,
I'm just really thinking
this
about
would
this
be
while
a
we're
good
talking
time
about
to
it.
use
That is
Pythagorean
crazy.
theorem.
I'm never going to use that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to understand what the doctor tells you.
Asana, I hadn't took a biology course and since high school. How am I going to remember that? I have zero interest in that. I don't have no basic nothing. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
Not 40. Nah, I ain't that old, but almost.
They are at least be
Yeah.
taught like what you should do.
Definitely, we need to know.
That ain't even no close to balance. It's too much of that. That's not going to be used. It's not going to be used.
And then even like now, you know how usually or it used to be you could graduate and you can have like you took classes for hair, so you had like a hair license,
Yeah.
you had shop. Like they don't have options for kids anymore. And my mom says that all the time. My mom's a principal.
Huh?
My mom says that all the time.
Oh, you mean in the school?
In
they have
school,
license.
yeah, like
so they didn't do that.
they do a
the
lot
school I
of-
went, they didn't have them options anyway.
It's
Yeah.
like way more
Well, you could go
emphasis
to
on
Vocational, but you know, whatever. They just went down there to just play
Mhm.
or whatever.
It's like way more emphasis on the kids that's gifted because they're doing well, but like the kids that's kind of like okay students,
Me,
you know what I'm saying, who don't like math, who don't
Me.
like reading the boring
Me.
ass books, like what are they gonna do? They might want to do something with their
Tune
hands.
in to
Like
me,
everybody's
baby.
not gonna be
Just
a
sit them in
doctor,
front of me.
so they need to
Or
give
somebody
kids
like me.
options.
Yeah, but
It's very sad.
I'm posing these as questions because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm sure we have some educators out there. Maybe I'm missing something.
Educational system.
Okay, what this person say?
All right, this person on TikTok said they agree. I want to teach high school students at my church about credit and real estate. So they want to kind of pinpoint stuff like that we need.
Don't even get me on the church part. I ain't gonna go there.
Ooh, not today. Someone said, did Flip go to college? Yes.
I did.
They don't teach it to you.
I did.
They want you
Sadly,
to keep on being peons. That's why they don't teach it to
Yeah,
you.
so I did
That's
actually
true.
attend the college and picked up the paper that they give you
Keep on being
for
horse.
some form of accomplishment. Now, I needed that as far as, well, I say I needed that. If I was still been in the hometown I grew up in and was happy, that's all what matters at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's all would have money or no money, whatever. At the end of the day, are you happy? At the end of the day, now let me just make that clear. But again, as far as things, so I think I sort of went into the diatribe here on what the topic is, but I'm really posing questions like to the audience. Maybe I'm missing something. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't want to think I know everything because oh my God, I don't. But maybe I'm missing something. Why is so much focus on stuff that you will never use to actually lead? I get that. So why do we sit up here and accept it? I guess is a better question.
But it's more of I don't think.
Now the internet is powerful and it's somewhat, it overcomes those.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that when I was growing up. So a lot of you guys that are watching this now, that are a lot younger than me, you have unbelievable opportunities that we don't have because pretty much anything you want to learn, you can just put on your own phone. It's carried with you everywhere you go. You can learn how to do it. That is an unbelievable opportunity. That's why I have very little patience when people say, well, they won't let you do this. And who is they? You can literally be invisible and make millions. Literally. So they don't know what color you are or what you are. Or, you know what I'm saying? What your race or male or female or whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So I have very little patience for that. I ain't saying there ain't hurdles out here. Don't get me wrong. But there's always a path.
Yeah.
There's always a path. I ain't good at excuses. We might call them real, I'm calling them excuses. So my point is, go back to the education thing. So again, maybe I'm missing something. I'm all ears. Somebody out there say, well, Tony, you ain't understanding it like this. Well, I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. But that's what I'm waiting on. Okay, well, there it is. Maybe my blood pressure come down now.
On that spinning wheel.
It is.
Hmm.
And they're making money. And just
Right.
What if you on that wheel and I just say,
and they do that all the time too.
oh, what if I push the wheel over? But anyway, so you would take some more questions or what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 5:18. We'll take a couple more.
Okay. Let me scroll back up. I'm just gonna go to this one because it's the first one I see. They said, how can I get proof of funds beforehand to put deals under contract with a realtor? The buyers I've asked tell me no unless it's under contract, but without proof of funds. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you don't need to target those type of properties.
Period.
That's why you don't hear me talk about them, right? If you're gonna deal with a real estate agent, you're gonna deal in that world, right? They're not going to take you serious unless you can provide proof of funds and $1,000 in earnest money. You know, it's negotiable. They'll do less sometimes, but now if you just want to go down that rabbit hole, you can get proof of funds. You don't have to pay for it. I'm affiliated with a company that'll do that. Text the letters POF, and the world is yours.
All right, this one says, does Do You Later work on smartphones?
Oh my God, yes, sir. Here you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Flex Chief. Text D for D, and you will thank me later.
All right, this one's from Kimmy's DIY Beauty. She said, hello, everyone. Ty, who pays for the title search or services of the title company? Is that an upfront fee or pay after the deal? If the deal falls through and the earnest money deposit is returned, will I be responsible to pay?
Well, that's why she's asking who pays for title search and the title services. All right, that's why I encourage you to not even initiate that until you have a buyer in place. And normally they already have those relationships in place. So if it's initiated, it's going to be on them if the deal falls through, especially if it's on their side of it. Now, if it's a situation where the seller changes their mind or whatever, the buyer may still just say, oh, whatever, man, we'll get them on the next one. Sometimes you'll have some guys that'll trip and you may be responsible for that. So, but generally speaking, the buyer will take care of that.
All right, this person on TikTok said every time they put a sign down in the yard, for sale, someone always take them up
They putting yards on the sign?
and post the property. What should they do in this situation?
I don't. Okay.
Every time they put a sign in the yard.
And what yard?
I guess the property. It says,
yeah, they're going to explain that because I'm not clear what they mean.
Every time I put a sign in a yard for sale, someone always take the sign, then post the property. What do I do in that situation?
I don't understand why they would do that. They got to, is it your property?
Maybe it's a property they're wholesaling, maybe.
Normally you don't put signs in yards that are not your property. I don't advise that.
All right, this is another.
In most cases, not.
This is another question on TikTok. Is a postcard campaign a good way to get started? If so, how many do I have to send out?
Direct mail works well, but you have to be prepared to send several thousand, and that's going to probably cost you $1,000 or $2. If you can't afford to spend $1,000, $2,000, 3 to 4 months consistently on a direct mail minimum, don't even start it.
All right. This one says, can I use emails instead of cold calls?
Well, email is difficult in the sense that the open rate is very low compared to the response rate that you'll get with text messaging. Cold calling. You'll be better to do text messaging. If you're going to want to send something where you ain't really got to talk to them up front, you better take a list that you would normally cold call and do text messaging. So text the word text to do that.
All right. This one came from Keith Hodge on YouTube. He said, have you had a deal go bad because of the point of sale? In certain areas in the Cleveland, Ohio suburbs, they're so high they kill deals. I
don't know what he means by that. If the numbers work, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
About the price of the house. It could be a $3 million ARV. If I can get it for 1.2, I can move it. Or I can get it for $2 million, I could probably move it. I'm not sure what you mean.
All right, this one's from Cadillac Coupe. They said, once you have a seller under contract, what's the inspection process or responsibilities of a seller while you find the correct buyer?
What's the responsibility of the seller?
Mm-hmm.
Normally nothing.
Yeah.
Unless they're not providing access, and so you might have to coordinate that, to show buyers or whatever.
I guess in that time they need to be packing, don't they?
Assuming that they live there.
True. Yeah. All right. This one says, is 90 to 100 days a good time to have a contract under if I'm buying the property?
If you're wholesaling, normally 30 days or so. 90 to 120 is too long for houses. 30 to 45 is more than reasonable, but 90 is out of the question. That's not normal. Not saying some deals might not extend that long, but normally your initial contract is going to be 30 to 45 days.
All right. Flex Chef said, I have an address for a vacant house and I'm trying to find the owner on the county website, but I'm not sure how.
Well, again, all county websites are not user friendly, so you may have to literally get some assistance from the county to show how to maneuver through their site to determine owner information. You have to actually deal with a governmental employee. You know what that means. Customer service may be at a low depending on how the day is going.
All right. Rhonda said, I'm researching vacant land / lots in California, but find it a challenge to compare costs and comps. What do you advise in this regard? Waiting for your YouTube on vacant land purchase. Thank you for your content.
A lot of times Zillow is really good at that. And what you'll look at, you can look at obviously sold properties, sold vacant land in a particular close to yours that you're targeting. Also look at what's listed now and look at how many views they have on them based on the day. So you may have a property that's been on the market for 2 weeks and it has 200 or 300 views. That's not bad for land. That means there's some interest there. It just may be overpriced if it haven't sold. But if it's been on the market for 2 weeks and only 2 or 3 people have viewed it, then they definitely have it overpriced, or it may not be that high of a demand in that particular area.
All right. This one says, why is the rule that you have to live in the house for 1 year? What's the purpose and what for?
You must be talking about some form of lending. I think HUD or whatever may require that. We call it seasoning, if I understand what you're asking, or whether it may be some form of lending that you're talking about. I think we need to roll.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. So we've been rolling pretty hard here. So hopefully we answered a lot of questions, added some value. If you didn't get your question answered, post it in the comment section of any of my YouTube videos. And I answer those on a daily basis. So if you're on TikTok and Instagram, you can always tap the link in my bio to take you over to my YouTube channel where all the content is located. Everything you need to know is right there. So these will go in replay mode on all of these platforms. So nothing else. So I guess we'll see you all tomorrow, and we'll see you on the flip side.
And don't forget to follow us on Pinterest.
Yes, on Pinterest. What we up to? 7?
I had to check yesterday. When I checked, it was 5. But we coming up there. Bye, y'all.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-52439. Yep. 205-964.